Today, I have a story time for you guys about a kid who is obsessed with Skibidi Toilet, and he becomes so obsessed that he actually ends up almost burning down his entire neighborhood over Skibidi Toilet. I know, the brain rot is real. Our generation might actually be ruined. And let me just say that this is one of the cringiest, funniest, but also a very interesting story that I've told in a very long time. So with that being said, leave a like on the video right now to claim your very own free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And with that being said, let's jump into the story time about when the Skibidi Toilet kid almost burns down the entire neighborhood. Let's go. Anyways, so we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Charlie. And if you want to submit a story, go to Instagram, look up Connor Pugs. I actually post a lot of content that I don't post on here on there. I actually have over 1 million followers on there, so I have a lot of new content there, but also message me your stories on there. That's where I receive them. Anyways, though, so we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Charlie. So this story actually happened at the end of last summer. So if you don't know, there's this viral video, or I should say more than a viral video, almost a viral series that went crazy viral last summer. It's Skibidi Toilet. Yes. So basically, for those who don't understand, 2-second summary, it's an animation of this like toilet that's in a head in a toilet and it sings. But then someone made like an animation video out of it, and it has like a whole like lore, plot line, and all that kind of stuff. So it became pretty legit pretty fast, and it got like hundreds of millions of views. It's insane. But anyways, there's this thing that we call Skibidi Toilet Syndrome. Basically where these kids will literally have their brain melted into goo because they spend 25 hours a day watching Skibidi Toilet videos. I'm saying like they're listening to like the Skibidi Toilet theme song on loop every single day. They wake up in the morning, have Skibidi Toilet videos playing as they wake up, throw in their headphones while they're brushing their teeth to listen to the Skibidi Toilet song. They're going down. Their mom says, "Hey, honey, I love you. I made this breakfast for you." And they take the breakfast and they throw it in their mother's face saying, "Mother, you think I have time for this? I have to go watch Skibidi Toilet lore compilations." Yeah, those are basically the kids who have Skibidi Toilet Syndrome. And I've told a lot of stories on this channel of some kids who've done some pretty crazy stuff, like literally almost attacking their parents with like a knife, bro, because Skibidi told them so. So this is like in line with the craziness. But this story goes deep, bro. This kid who we're going to call Ben. By the way, the Skibidi Toilet kid in this video, we're going to call Ben because, bro, of course we're going to call him Ben. Anyways, this lore goes deep, bro, because it was like a Skibidi Toilet cult and sacrifice and fire and explosions. It's a very interesting story. But anyways, the subscriber Charlie was telling me about this kid who we're going to call Ben. And Ben is a kid who also came down to the curse of Skibidi Toilet, bro. He was just one of these kids who also just, he came down with the virus. So Ben was probably in a situation over the summer where he didn't really have a lot to do. Maybe he wasn't going to camp, and like his parents, were just telling him like, hey, like just stay at home, you can play video games, which honestly, if I was a kid in this situation, I mean, for at least the first couple weeks, I would think it's like a super sweet deal. Like, bro, I actually just get to sit here and play video games all day for the entire summer with the boys. Like, low-key, that sounds fun. Yeah, like that would honestly sound kind of fun, but the problem is, so Ben probably was sitting there, playing his Minecraft, playing his Fortnite, kind of doing what maybe on Roblox or something, doing whatever he was doing, and that's when he probably stumbled upon on YouTube a very interesting video in his YouTube algorithm, in his YouTube recommendations. And that video was probably a Skibidi Toilet video. And then very soon, he quickly went down the path where he was spending 25 hours a day, yes, you heard me right, not 24 hours a day, 25 hours a day. This kid wanted to watch Skibidi Toilet so bad that he literally froze time just to get an extra hour during the day to consume more Skibidi Toilet videos. This kid probably had dual monitors up, one monitor being the Skibidi Toilet compilation videos of a song on 24 hours, and the other one with a playlist of every episode of Skibidi Toilet, and he probably had a third monitor up with compilations of fan-made Skibidi Toilet animations. Like, it's this bad, bro. I don't know why, like, I've seen a lot of things go crazy on the internet. Like, when I was younger, I really like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I was around when the second game dropped, and like I was there early on, and it was a lot of fun. However, like while people got pretty obsessed and they'd like dress up and they do all this kind of stuff with Five Nights at Freddy's, it never got to the point that I'm seeing with these Skibidi Toilet kids. Maybe I'm just really washed up and I just don't understand it, but for some reason, bro, I don't know. I just feel like these Skibidi Toilet kids are going that far. I've never had a situation where I've gotten a story time about a Five Nights at Freddy's kid blowing up the universe or whatever, but man, I've gotten 15,000 about these Skibidi Toilet kids. Anyways, so Ben's brain rotted very severely. It kind of turned into mush, and the only thing his two remaining brain cells could put together in a sentence would be skippy bop 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 yes yes. That's literally all he had left in his brain. Pretty unfortunate situation. So anyways, Charlie went to the same school as Ben, but they also lived in the same neighborhood. So one day, over the summer, especially towards the end of the summer, like it was almost time for them to go back to school, and Charlie was hanging out with the other neighborhood guys, and one of them brought up for a second, like, yo, we haven't seen Ben in a second. So they weren't necessarily that close with Ben, like they wouldn't, he wasn't like one of the regulars at the sleepover, they wouldn't like ask him what he was doing, but it was one of those situations where in the town that they're at, like, it was just like very chill and everyone would see each other, and like you go to the mall or you go to the park or you go to like, there were just like a lot of communal locations where you definitely would see someone, you know what I mean? Like if someone was like, you would just run into a bunch of people, like almost like when you're at school, you run into people all the time that you're not necessarily that tight with. But in this situation, it's one of those things where, it's like you would have seen him, bro. So yeah, someone brought up the question of like, where's Ben? And that actually was a pretty decent question, because where was he? Well, it turns out that Ben was spending every waking second, and probably every sleeping second of his day inside in his room, strapped up, like his face literally attached to like dual monitors playing Skibidi Toilet videos. Like this kid was way down the rabbit hole of these Skibidi Toilet videos and had a severe case of Skibidi Toilet syndrome for sure. Yeah, so anyways, what ended up happening was I think Ben's parents like started to realize that Ben was spending literally 0 seconds outside. Like Ben was legitimately spending every second of his day inside watching Skibidi Toilet videos, watching the newest Skibidi Toilet compilation video. And I don't know if this is a crazy thing to say, but I'm going to argue that that's probably not good for his mental health, watching 10,000 hours of Skibidi Toilet videos. I mean, there's going to be a certain point where he goes back to school and the only words he's going to be able to utter are skippy bop, yes, yes. Like, it's actually going to get to that point, and it's genuinely concerning. So anyways, there was about a week and a half, 2 weeks till school. And picture this. Charlie and the boys, they were chilling at the park. It was 9 in the morning. So it was a hot summer day, but it was 9 in the morning. So it was a little cool, right? It was that nice cool before the heat comes and gets you. Charlie and the boys had a plan that, they were going to hang outside for the morning until around 10:30, 11, where the sun came up and the heat started to rise and would get too sweaty. Then they would head over to Charlie's house, and all the boys, or they would all go back on, they'd hop on a game. So I don't know if they all went there or they went back to their houses. But they were going to hop on the game when it was hot out. And then at the end of the night, like when it started to cool down again, they would once again come back to the park. Honestly, to me, sounds like a pretty epic, like summer day, if I'm saying so myself. But anyways, so it's 9 o'clock in the morning. They're chilling down at the park. They're all sitting on like a row of swings. No one else is really there. So they get the park to themselves. It's right before it gets too hot. It's that nice, like, it's warm. It's not too warm, but it's warm enough that it's comfortable. You feel the heat starting to rise, but you got at least a good 30, 45 minutes left. And so they're just kind of sitting there. And they're just, thinking. And remember, a couple days ago, someone made a comment like, we haven't seen Ben like all summer. That's kind of weird. They haven't thought about that since. They're sitting there on the swings, chatting about whatever. I mean, what was going on, like, during August of last year? What was that? Like, obviously, like, Skibidi Toilet went crazy. Grimace Shake videos. I can't even think about what else was going crazy then. Spice Kings. I don't know. Anyways, so they're kind of just sitting there. Not really saying that much. Just kind of chilling. It wasn't, like, an awkward situation. It was that nice, like, we're friends enough that we know that we don't need to be talking all the time to make it not awkward. That's one of my favorite situations to be in. When you're boys with someone enough, or you're close with someone enough, that like you can sit there in silence or chilling in silence, and it's not awkward at all because that's like, no, we're cool. And it's like nothing annoys me more than yapping for the sake of yapping. I love a good conversation with the boys, but nothing annoys me more than just like being forced to speak when I don't need to. So anyways, they're all sitting on the swings like that. And it comes over to a situation where I think Charlie looks up and he sees someone walking towards them. And at first, I think Charlie was like, oh, that might be Dave. Dave was one of their friends, he was gone for like a month or something, went to Puerto Rico, and he was coming back soon. But Charlie in his head was like, Dave's supposed to come back in 2 days. Like, that's not Dave. And as the figure gets closer, it's actually Ben. And that's when Charlie remembers, like, oh, yeah, a couple days ago we were just having a conversation about where's this kid, and then he literally spawns in. And they're like, that's funny. So Ben starts walking closer to them. And for a little bit more context, they're not that tight with him. Like, I don't know. I feel like if they were at recess and they had, like, a big game or something, like, he'd be totally invited. Or if it was a big group of guys or they were sitting at a big lunch table, like, it wouldn't be weird for him to sit with them. But they never had, like, their little group never had, like, they never really had him in their, whenever they would go off and do something. And Ben had his own group, so it wasn't like they were, like, excluding him. It's just some friends are a lot more casual, and he was definitely in the casual department. So it was a little bit strange that Ben was walking right towards them, but no one had a problem with it. Also remember, at this point, no one had any idea what Ben was up to, what Ben was doing, and they barely even knew what Skibidi Toilet was at this point. So anyways, Ben walks up to them, and, it's not like, oh, that's kind of weird, but it's a little like, okay, like, sure, we haven't chatted with this guy, we haven't chatted with this guy, but it's been a second since, we've talked to him, and cool, whatever. So he comes up, and he just kind of, like, stands there. It's a little weird. And they kind of look at him. They're like, hey, man, what's up? He's like... And they kind of look at him like, okay. And he's like, hello. It's, like, very, very weird. And it's not... I'm not saying Ben was, like, the most charismatic kid before and was like could woo a crowd in seconds, but I'm also trying to say that he wasn't that, like, I don't know, socially stunted, you know what I mean? Like he could respond to a conversation normally. So if you guys are curious, this is basically the Skibidi Toilet brain rot, already demolishing his brain, but he starts picking it up again quickly. He's like, oh, hey, what did you guys do over the summer? Almost sounding like an actual AI bot. Bro actually sounds like ChatGPT 2. Not even 3.5 or 4. Bro sounds like ChatGPT 2. Bro actually sounds like ChatGPT 1, bro. Hello, how is summer? Question mark. Like, bro, what? Anyway, so they're like, oh, yeah, bro, it's been good. We've honestly just been chilling here. Like, life's been good. Man, like, we haven't seen you. Have you been, like, away? Like, have you been on a trip? Like, are you, like, I don't know. Because, yeah, it was a genuine question. Like, if basically in this town, if you're just chilling, like, they're going to see you either at the mall, they're going to see you at this park, they're going to see you down by, like, the river that the park's, like, attached to if you walk 5 minutes, like, that way. They're going to see you at some point, or at least it's very unlikely that you just slip on by. So they probably thought, oh, well, this kid went to, I don't know, Japan for, like, 3 months. And now he's coming back just today. But it turns out that actually, he's like, no, I've been here. And they're like, oh, like, that's funny. We haven't really seen you out and about. And Ben's like, I haven't been out and about. They're like, okay. So what you been doing? Just, like, kind of chilling at home? He's like, I've been learning. And they're all kind of like, what? Like, well, what do you mean? Like, for a second, they're like, is this guy, like, trying to learn calculus, bro? We're in the 6th grade. Like, relax for a second. Because Ben wasn't, like, a super studious kid either. I'm not saying he was failing out of his classes, but what I'm trying to say is, like, he was not, like, sit at the front of the class, answer every question, get 102% on the exam, and when he gets a 99%, literally bursts out into tears, being like, no, my life is over. like he wasn't one of those kids. So it was a little bit weird that he was learning or studying or whatever he said. And they're like, oh, what subject? And he's like, I'm not studying school stuff. Like, I learned the truth. And they're all like, okay, that's cute. What do you mean by the truth? It's starting to sound like the beginning of a horror movie, which, like, I mean, I'm gonna be straight, it low-key was like the beginning of a horror movie. Like, being very honest, this is basically a horror movie. Yeah, so Charlie and his friends are kind of just sitting there looking at this kid, Ben, who came up to them and is like, I've been studying the truth, and I know now the truth. Like, bro, actually, this is the beginning of a horror movie, dude. Which, like, I mean, it low-key is, but... So anyways, Charlie and his friends sitting on the swings kind of, like, side-eye each other. Like, they're all giving each other pretty massive side eyes at this point because they're just like, hey, yo, this kid's kind of sus. I'm not going to lie. And they're kind of like, okay. So then Charlie looks at Ben, is like, haha, okay, man. That's cool. Instead of, like, asking for more details, because basically he's looking at this and he's like, bro, I'm not trying to ask for more details. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to ask for more details because that's going to be, it's like opening a can of worms, dude. It's opening Pandora's box. As soon as you ask more, honestly, only more trouble is going to follow. And Charlie is acutely aware of this being true. You know what I mean? Like, he just knows that this is going to be a bad situation no matter how you look at it. So, yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter, though, because Ben is like, and I will, he looks at all of them, he says, and I will enlighten you guys to the truth of the universe, which, like, bro is going on some mystical warlock, I went on a great quest type, I don't know, like, I don't even know how to say it, and he's, you know, all the kids are kind of, like, looking at each other, and Charlie's like, Charlie's trying to think of some excuse for, like, why they gotta go. But, dude, it's like a 9 a.m., 10 a.m. preheat on a Sunday. Like, what are they going to do? It's literally on summer break. I mean, like, dude, what are you going to say? Like, oh, I have to go to school? Bro, no one's in school right now. Oh, I have my mom's calling me? Bro, your mom's not calling you. Like, what are you going to do right here? You know what I mean? Like, what are you genuinely going to do? So anyways, I think Charlie and the boys are just like, all right, we're just going to accept whatever's going to happen. So Ben looks at them and is like, the truth of the universe is that we are all, it's central around, this is so goofy, bro. Yeah, leave a like on the video if you haven't already, just to lock in extra cringe protection. If you leave a like on the video, you get your free nothing. I'm still giving those away, don't worry. But if you leave a like on the video, you'll also get a bonus anti-cringe goggles, which is very important for what I'm about to say. Honestly, I think you might have a very strong risk of dying from cringe if you don't leave a like right now. So I really suggest it. Anyways, though, he says, the truth is the universe revolves around the great Skibidi toilets. Dude. Gen Alpha is actually cooked, bro. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but Gen Alpha might actually be cooked. My generation's pretty bad. Like, we can't eat lunch without I don't know, watching YouTube. Totally get that. I understand. We're low-key cooked in our own right, but at the same time, bro, Gen Alpha, it's not looking good for them either. They're cooked, bro. I mean, this kid actually thinks the universe revolves around the Skibidi toilets. Anyways, so Charlie's like, he's holding it, like, laughing because he's like, ain't no way, bro just said the universe revolves around Skibidi toilet. Like, dude actually needs to be locked away. He needs the freaking, the electric chair for this one, bro. Like, this is actually crazy. So yeah, Ben keeps going on to say that, you know, the world revolves around Skibidi toilets, and that he has been praying to Skibidi toilet every single night, and that last night, Skibidi spoke back to him. And at this point, Charlie's like, this went from, like, low-key funny to low-key, I gotta get out of here before bro pulls out a shotgun and says, we're all going to see Skibidi together now. Right? Like, I don't know, bro. This kind of went from like, this kid must be trolling to God, I hope this kid is trolling. So, Charlie kind of looks at, all of his other friends on the swings, kind of looking at them. We'll give the friends names. I'm sorry, if I already gave the names earlier, I'm picking up this recording a little bit later. We're going to rename them Will and Alex. So it's Charlie, Will, and Alex all sitting on the swings. And, like, Charlie looks over at Will, and Will's just like, what the hell? Oh, hell no. Yeah, so Ben keeps going on to be like, yes, and the Skibidi toilets are, they spoke to me last night, and they said that our town has been very bad. And Charlie's just like, what? He's like, yes, they told us that our town has been very, very bad, and we must be punished, and that if I'm the one who does the punishing, that I will be blessed by the Skibidis. So it's like a mix of like, this is terrifying and this is also cringe. It's a nice little mix of terrifying and cringe, which is not your standard mix. Like, definitely by no means is that your standard mix of what you're going to see. But yeah, it's a mix of cringe and just like, what is going on right now, bro? Because like, I'm low-key a little bit worried. About this. So yeah, they kind of look at him. They're like, bro, like, what do you mean by like the town needs to be punished? Like, I don't know. That sounds like you're going to drop a nuke on us or something. And so he goes on to say like, yes. And he says, I like you guys. So I wanted to give you the opportunity. Oh, the opportunity to be on the right side of history. So they're all looking at him like, hey, yo. Yeah, so I don't know about you, but I just feel like it sounds so sus to be like, I'm coming to you to give you an opportunity to like be on the right side of history and punish this town. Bro, and also you're doing it for like the good graces of the Skibidis. Like, dude, I don't even care if it's like a good reason. Like, that's still mad sus. But anyways, right, so Charlie is like, what? And Ben's like, I'm giving you guys one last chance to join me. I've given no one else this opportunity to, when the Skibidi reckoning comes and, the toilet heads and the cameramen come and destroy the town for being evil. If I don't do it first, I'm doing you all a service. Like, I'm giving you the opportunity to be in the good graces of the Skibidi toilets. So Alex, Will, and Charlie, they all just kind of look at each other like, is this kid serious? Like, what? Huh? Bro, how do I even like parse through what we're hearing? How do I like dissect what I'm hearing right now? How do I even comprehend what I'm hearing right now? Like, this is actually insane. Like, this might be one of the craziest things I've ever freaking heard, bro. Like, seriously right now. I think this might be one of the craziest things I've ever heard. So, yeah. They're like, hey, bro, what do you mean by punish the town? He says, I can't give away my secrets to non-believers. You guys are sounding like non-believers to me. And I mean, they definitely were non-believers. Yo, I'm sorry, I don't believe you that massive Skibidi toilets are going to come in and give you a big plus 500 XP prize because you blew up the town with a nuclear bomb. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I don't think that's so crazy for me not to believe. But at this point, Ben starts getting really angry. He's like, you'll all see what I mean. And also, when I'm super right and you guys are super wrong, well then, that's going to be when you guys get blown up by the Skibidi toilets. And he like turns around and runs away. So Charlie just turns to his friends. Like, boys, what just happened? Because remember, they're just trying to enjoy it. Like, they're trying to have a good time. They're just trying to enjoy themselves. They're just trying to enjoy the day. It's a nice day. They're just trying to have a good time, bro. And this kid is coming out with all this skibbity-bibbity nonsense, bro. Like, oh my God. Like, what is he's going to punish the town? So Charlie and his friends are kind of just sitting there like, wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait 1 second. What does he mean? What exactly does he mean by punish? What exactly does he mean by punish the town? Because I don't know about you, but punish doesn't really sound like comes with such a great connotation. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when someone says, yeah, you're going to be punished, bro, I don't know about you, but that kind of sends some alarm bells ringing in my head. Some kind of like red flashing lights, some spaghetti-o type situation, right? I don't know about you. That just doesn't, punishing the town before for good graces of the Skibidi, that sounds like some cult shiz. You know what I mean? Like, that sounds insane. Maybe I'm the crazy one and Skibidi toilets will come and blow up me. I don't know. When that day happens, guys, I will admit that I made a mistake. 100%. Yeah, so anyways, Charlie and the boys are kind of just sitting there like, well, I really don't know how to, like, process this. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. But they kind of just go on with their day. And they kind of, really the only thing they do is they go throughout their day, like, low-key just cracking jokes about it every once in a while. Because, like, dude, I don't know about you, but I feel like it'd be pretty hard to take that, like, that seriously. Like, to take it, like, that seriously, bro, I feel like that'd be a little bit hard. I mean, low-key, it did turn out to be kind of serious, but I can totally see where taking it seriously would just be like, nah, I'm good. So they're kind of just going throughout their day, cracking jokes about it. And so they, the day wraps up. They're going to bed. And so Charlie, it's like 9 o'clock, whatever. They like playing Bed Wars. They like hopping on Discord, and at night they'll play some rounds of games together. Honestly, some of not my best memories, but some really good memories, definitely during like the 2020 era, and then even the 2021 era, would just be like when I would hop on Bed Wars and play like with my hometown friends for like hours straight, and that was genuinely just like such a good time. Look, there is something to say for like kids playing video games 24/7 by themselves is probably not healthy, but I do think that there's like genuinely like really good experiences of hopping on Fortnite or Minecraft or whatever with the boys. Like, that is genuinely like a good experience, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, those have been some good memories. So anyways, they were going to hop on. Charlie sits in his chair. That's when he gets a phone call from Will. And, he picks it up. He's like, yo, what's up, bro? He wasn't sure if, like, Will was like, oh, I'm going to be 30 minutes late, or I have to do something, or just calling for the sake of calling. And so he picks it up, and he's just like, yo, what's up? And Will's like, dude, like, you remember Ben from earlier today? Charlie's like, yeah, I didn't get hit in the head and, like, lose memory. Of course I remember Ben from earlier today. Like, that's a pretty hard thing to forget, dude. When someone says, oh, I'm gonna Skibidi blow up the school or whatever the hell they said, or the neighborhood or whatever. Yeah, you're gonna pay attention, dude. You're gonna remember that, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna remember that. Yeah, so he's like, dude, like, I don't know. Like, some guys were just texting me that they saw, like, Ben was, like, walking, like, kind of, like, maniacally walking around the neighborhood, and, like, apparently, like, I don't know how to say, but, like, bro, like, I don't know. And Charlie's like, dude, what are you saying right now? Like, I don't even understand what you're saying. He's like, nah, just trust me. This is, like, kind of crazy. But they think that he was, like, walking around with like, okay, so essentially, like, if you, I think YouTube's going to get mad if I explain this too much. But basically, if you have a bottle of lighter fluid or alcohol and you set it on fire, you can throw it and it explodes. And clearly do not do that. Do not make a Molotov cocktail. For the love of God, do not do that. But bro is basically walking around with something kind of sus. So anyways, Charlie's like, yo, like, do you know where he is? By the way, Charlie also says, disclaimer, do not do what he did here. It's kind of dumb to do what he did here. However, right, it makes for a good story. Which, by the way, super quick, if you're a Spotify listener, if you're listening to this on Spotify, because actually you guys on Spotify listen vary throughout, make sure you've rated the podcast 5 stars. And if you're a YouTube listener, I also post these on Spotify so you can listen too. It's in the description. And also, if you're curious about my day-to-day, like what I do during the day when I'm not making these storytime videos, I post a lot of that on my Snapchat. My Snapchat is just Connor Pugs. I have the gold star in there. So add me and you can see all that kind of stuff. But anyways, Charlie and his friends decided to go basically trying to find Ben, basically trying to stalk Ben, which, bro, if he's walking around literally insane with Skibidi toilet disease, trying to like burn down the neighborhood. I don't know how else to say it, but you're probably better off not following this kid and just calling the police. But Charlie and his friends, I don't know. They just wanted something interesting, I guess. So anyways, Charlie and his friends, they gather together. They all go to Will's house. So Will, Alex, and Charlie, they all pull up in their house, and he's like, okay. Will's like, okay, I'm getting word that he's on Clara Avenue. And they're like, oh, okay, let's go over there. So they all kind of like grab their stuff together. They tell their parents they're going for a walk or something. Hey, Mom, I'm going to go try and find a psychotic Skibidi toilet lunatic who's carrying around a Molotov cocktail. Yeah, bye, Mom. We'll see you. Yeah, obviously, they're not going to say it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber Charlie and his two boys, they're walking out trying to find a deranged Skibidi toilet psychopath. So they're walking down one street, and basically what they're doing is they're not trying to be in the middle of the street. They're trying to be a little sneaky. So they're kind of like, as they approach Clara Avenue, they kind of don't expect them to be right there. But as they approach, they get a little bit like, they're trying to be by the fence. They kind of sneak behind the bushes a little bit. Like it's a little bit of like a, I don't know, kind of like a spy thing, whatever. Which, by the way, I just want to give a big fat disclaimer. Please, for the love of God, if someone's walking around with a Skibidi, if it's something like this or anything that's like kind of dangerous, please just don't go see it. Like Charlie's pretty lucky that nothing bad happened. But just like as a disclaimer, I feel like I need to tell you guys, do not go out and do this for the love of God. Okay, I got that through to you guys. That's good to hear. Okay, anyways, so sure enough, right, the subscriber, the subscriber, Charlie and his friends, they start approaching Clara Avenue. And not in Clara Avenue, but the one over. They see kind of like the flashing red and blue lights of like a police car. They're like, oh, like maybe it's unrelated, maybe it's not. So they kind of like, they walk through they kind of like hop the fence, they walk through like the bushes in someone's house, and they go in their backyard, which like, low-key, they could have gotten in trouble for that too. But they go in the backyard, and they kind of like peek through the bushes that kind of like enclose the house to look at the avenue the street right adjacent to Clara Avenue. We'll call it Teddy Avenue, right? So on Teddy Avenue, there's all these police cars. There's like 6 police cars. So anyways, right, they're all looking over there, and they kind of peer through the bushes. They see 6 police cars. And so basically they see a bunch of police officers, and they can't really get a good look. But that's when Charlie feels a tap on his shoulder, turns to his left, and sees Alex pointing at something. And so he kind of looks over there, and Alex is like, I think that's Ben. I think that's Ben. So there's a ton of police officers. You can barely see in, but they're pointing at it, and it looks as if, sure enough, Ben is like surrounded by these police officers. So at this point, right, they hear kind of like a rustling in the backyard. They hear a door open, and they hear someone say, hey, is anyone back there? So Charlie, they walked into someone's like backyard. So Charlie, Alex, and Will immediately run out of there, and they're trying not to gain attention from any of the police officers that are all abundantly there too. So anyways, they run out. They run many blocks down. They're out of breath, and then immediately Will picks up his phone, calls the other guy who said, oh, I saw like Ben walking around, and they start discussing, and apparently there's like word buzzing on all the mom Facebook forums, and all the kids are chatting back and forth, and now Will and Charlie are saying, we saw this kid getting arrested, and over the next like 2 days, there's like a whole debrief, and all the kids are talking to each other. It's very fragmented information. Charlie's going to tell me everything that he knows. He knows that they saw Ben basically getting arrested by 15,000 billion police officers. There was like word on the Facebook Moms forum that, someone saw him with like what looked like could have been a Molotov cocktail. So obviously they like reported that. Thankfully, he didn't end up burning down like anything. He didn't get to that point. But a lot of the details of the case are like covered and like, or not covered, but they're like not disclosed. Like they're kind of like kept secret or hidden because like he was under the age of 18 for his identity or something like that. So Charlie doesn't know that many more details besides the ones I told you. But moral of the story is like, if Skibidi Toilet tells you to burn down the neighborhood, maybe just go see someone. Maybe that's what you should do.